Hey guys, it's Anna and welcome back to my channel. If you clicked on this video, I'm assuming you probably want to learn how to hold a handstand longer. So today I'm going to be sharing my top 10 tips for improving your handstand. I have made a few other handstand videos on my channel, but they're from years ago and were very quick. So today I wanted to share some more in-detail tips on how you can really level up your handstands. Even though all of these tips will help and I recommend trying out them all, I'm going to save the most important tip for last, so make sure to stick around until the end if you want to have great handstands. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started. My first tip is to make sure that every time you practice your handstands, you warm up and stretch, and especially stretch out your wrists. Stretching will also help to improve your flexibility, which will make it easier to kick up into the handstand and do different variations like a split handstand. So if you're planning on practicing your handstands after this video, I'll leave my most recent warm-up and stretch routine linked in the description so you can do those first. In order to have a solid handstand, it's important to have a strong kick up into it. So to do the kick up, start in a lunge with your arms up by your ears, and then kick up the back leg so that it's in a straight line with your body, followed by the front leg just as hard so that it meets the back leg. If you're new to doing handstands, I recommend trying this out on both legs to see which one feels easier to you. Once you feel like you have a good kick up into the handstand, the next thing you should do is practice doing it against a wall, because this will get you used to being upside down for a long time. When doing it against the wall, it's helpful to videotape yourself to make sure that your body is in the right position, because if you're not in the right position against the wall, you definitely won't be able to hold it without the help of the wall. So what you should look like is your hands should be as close to the wall as possible, and you should be engaging your core to create a straight body line. So here's an example of what a proper handstand against a wall should look like versus what it should not look like. You just want more. Climbing mountains, crushing your goals, but you put your happiness on hold, still waiting. When doing handstands with or without a wall, you also want to make sure to always point your toes, because this will help with forming that straight body line. Release your control, start to let go, take a night off and let yourself go a little crazy. In addition to practicing full handstands against a wall, practicing half handstands can also be beneficial to make sure that your upper body is in the right position. Once you're in the half handstand, make sure that your upper body is in a straight line, and then once you feel comfortable there, you can practice lifting up one leg at a time and then eventually kicking up the other leg as well to hold a straight handstand. It's also a good idea to put a soft surface like a mat under you when doing handstands, especially if you're first learning them. Now it's time to move on and tell the truth like you mean it. Next, make sure that your arms are in the right position by placing them shoulder width apart, and also make sure that you're keeping your arms straight, because you won't be able to hold the handstand as long if you have bent arms. You're perfect just like you are. Release your control, start to let go, take a night off and let yourself go a little crazy. Crazy, crazy. Release your control, let your body go a little crazy. Not only is arm position important for balancing in your handstand, but also hand position, so make sure that your hands are pointed forward and not inwards or outwards. It's also really beneficial to separate and slightly bend your fingers, because that way you can lean into your fingers when falling backwards, and then lean into the palms of your hands when falling forward to keep balance. Crazy. Crazy. is to make sure that your head is neutral so that it's in a straight line with your body, because if it's tucked too far in or outwards, that can also throw you off balance. However, you can make exceptions to this when doing different variations of handstands, which I'll get into in my next tip.
Just thought I'd call and wish you good night. I left my key under the mat. I don't get anything done, you're stuck on my mind. I keep on missing your touch, missing your vibe.
Even though I think you should have a basic handstand before trying different variations, I personally find straight handstands to be hardest to hold. So if you're trying to hold your handstand for a long time, it can be helpful to place your legs in a split or stag position. If you happen to have a lot of back flexibility, I also find contortion handstands easier to hold, but to do those, you do have to change your head position to look out in front of you.
Baby, give me all you got.
If you applied all of those tips but still can't seem to hold your handstand, it might be because you don't have enough core and upper body strength. So here are some exercises you can do, and I also have a follow along ab workout that I'll link down in the description.
But baby, I don't care to win. I don't get anything done, you're stuck on my mind. I keep on missing your touch, missing your vibe. This feeling I go when I say what we had. Won't you come on over? Don't you miss me too? Give it all you got, babe. Give it all you got, baby. I'd rather try than lose you. Give it all you got, baby. Give me all you got.
Finally, for the most important tip, tip number 10, which is to practice often, because the more often that you practice your handstands, the better you'll get at them, and you can always come back to this video whenever you need a refresher on these tips. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and you can click here to subscribe to my channel. To get warmed up to do your handstands, click here, and today's flexibility transformation feature goes to Carol Flexible on Instagram. Bye!